I've been seeing a psychiatrist for over 12 months now because of all of this, you know. 1 minute one person's telling you one thing from the insurance company, and the next time you ring you get a different answer, you know, and then they're blaming that person and they're blaming that, you know, it's just like a full-on runaround. As I've taken a step back, my right foot has landed half on, half off the beam, and I've just lost balance and went straight back. I make sure Madison's up by 7:30 of the morning, get her off to school, all that sort of stuff. She starts at 8:45, so I take her to school. And then usually there's doctor's appointments or whatever throughout the day, but if I do have the spare time, I do like to get into the veggie patch. She was 3 years old when I had the accident, and you just can't do the normal things that a father would do with a 3 to 6 year old that she is now. She's 6 now. And then with money situations and all that, like, I can't go out and do a couple extra hours overtime to bring in a couple extra dollars or whatever, you know. So it's put a lot of strain on the family. It's just lucky that we've got a good relationship before all of this happened, or otherwise, you know, I don't know where I'd be.
I've been nursing for nearly 18 years. That particular day I had been the senior nurse. I started to peruse around the unit to see who was doing what, and I walked in to find this particular patient standing over another nurse with a steel cap boot in his hand. And she was screaming, and 3 other elderly women in the room were cowering in their beds, and I just said, "Oi, what are you doing?" And he's just dropped the boot and ran at me. And pretty much just launched me across the corridor into a door surround. He then just started kicking and punching, and I can't remember much else. You know, I sort of got back into full-time work, and then they hit me with this $600 a fortnight, which was my make-up pay. So basically that was the component of my penalty rates and stuff. So I went back to a base RN wage, which I hadn't received in years. Your life can change, bang. So I just tell people just to keep fighting too, and hopefully the legislation might somehow change to actually support the person that's injured. I mean, you know, just small things, you know, that, you know, I'm not as hard done by as a lot of people, but I know that I've worked hard enough not to be put in that position.
I joined the railways in 2004, and became a transit officer, and that's a lot of my role was I was out patrolling in the rail network. And when I was running across the main road to join her, I've tripped. Pretty much put my hand out to brace my fall. All my body weight came down on the one arm and shattered the radial head and dislocated the elbow. Pretty much I could still hear the assault taking place, so I've managed to get myself back up off the ground and proceed over to where the assault was taking place. They've seen me turn up and everyone's fled.
I remember the doctor coming in and saying to David, "You won't be able to go back to your job." And David goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Your arm's never going to get back to normal." And the doctor walked out. Do you remember? And David started crying. He goes, "I need to go back. I need to go to work."
You want to ride your bike? You love riding. know, I'm going to be losing all this money. And I mean, I think one of the hardest things was coming home telling the wife, and that's like, everything's going to change, you know, lifestyle's going to change, you know, kids' education, schooling. We all work in dangerous jobs, any job's dangerous. You know, I mean, that's a slap in the face for everyone.